Hello, people, and welcome to my live stream once more. Ta-da! Today we are dealing with some facial expressions which has been requested by some of you, and I'm going to be talking and showing stuff about happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, and surprise. Those 6 emotions. They are, because I think they are quite basic, and when you kind of know those emotions, it's easier to then kind of apply them to for more complicated and subtle emotions. But these are the basic emotions that's good to start with. So here I have prepared our first sketch, which is this is like a basic happy face. Like you can see that this random character, we have a lot of random characters today, like she's happy, she's content, but this is still a very basic happiness, nothing extreme. It's just the eyes are quite neutral, but you see the eyes are fully open, looking kind of confidently. Like you can see the person is like looking at you. She's looking at something. And like her gaze is not wavering. I would say that happiness as an emotion is kind of confident emotion. The eyebrows are also quite they are quite high, but not like too high. At least not at this point yet, because like I said, this is still the basic content happy face. I'm also probably going to give some tips on how to draw human head as well, because well, this is a good chance to do that since we're going to have a lot of heads here. But let me just, I don't want to use too much time on the characters, even though I could make them very fancy and draw them very properly, but that would just take too much time. But here, I don't know if you can see something very useful when drawing a human head that I use all the time are these two simple lines. One going under the eyes, and the other one going like in the middle of the face. These 2 lines really help, can really help you to find the symmetry of the face, so that you don't have trouble placing the eyes and the nose and the mouth there. It's good. I think it's quite easy to get them eyes and nose and mouth a little crooked. They're not like they're not like kind of following the same lines. And I really recommend there are three methods that I recommend that you can use to kind of check if the face is properly symmetric. Because, you know, sometimes when you're drawing something and you look at it for long enough, you kind of get blind to it. So I recommend you take a mirror and you mirror the picture. You look at it from the mirror and it will reveal the mistakes that you cannot see. The other way is to turn the paper upside down. That also does the trick. You can easily see if the other eye is higher than the other one using that, and it gives you a new perspective, so to say. And the third one is to take your phone and take your camera and look at the picture through the camera, because then on the phone screen it makes the drawing smaller, and once you see the drawing smaller, it's easier to spot the obvious mistakes that you might not see otherwise. Okay, now I've spent way too much time on this first one, but I believe I had some very important things to say, so I hope those things can possibly help you. So here is the basic happy face. Oh yeah. Just like, let me simplify it. It's just like, that's all you need, really. This is not really challenging. I believe everybody is easily able to produce a basic happy face. But now let's move to a little more happy face and see what is different between the basic happiness and the what is this? This is medium medium level happiness then. So I'm just going to point out the main things that change here compared to this one. So I'm not going to draw the whole thing because that's just going to take too much time. So basically the eyes were still open and very well open, but because the mouth is like it's more wide, the smile is wider, you can see the teeth of the girl, and because of this the mouth is pushing the cheeks up, and you can then draw this like the line under the eye to kind of point upwards, you know, there is this like this pushing power here and here, and you can see the way when you draw this line here a little curved, the way it affects the eyes and how the eyes start kind of shining with happiness. Also the eyebrows can be, you can make them go also higher, especially from this end, from this end here. This is really depending on how happy you want the person to look, because you know, if you want to really exaggerate, you can even lift those eyebrows up, but that really depends on what you want to achieve. Here, another random advice for drawing a human face. For me, what really helps to draw a nose are 3 little balls. The first ball is the biggest one, and then 2 other ones are smaller. Here, the third ball is pretty much hidden beneath there, so this also requires some 3D thinking. But anyway, with these 3 balls, I very often use these to get my noses the way I want them to be, like that. And so now we get back to the mouth. And of course, the size of the smile is also something that really defines the kind of the amount of happiness that you put into the expression. It's like you can make it really, really wide, kind of exaggerate, but or then make it a little smaller, but still see the teeth. But really, the size of the smile affects the amount of happiness greatly. So you can even go ahead and try and draw two similar expressions, but the other one is having a smaller smile, meaning the mouth is going to be smaller, and the other one having a big wide smile, and it really makes the difference. And also here you can because of the wide smile, the cheeks here, you can draw them a little rounder, kind of like pointing more upwards than here, because here this cheeks are pretty much quite relaxed. They're not really doing anything, but here they're doing something. So, oh, and yeah, one more thing that if you're drawing a character that has, like in this case, this girl has quite a lot of hair, long hair. Something that can also boost the happiness, if you want to express happiness, is to kind of make the hair alive, make the hair move. So it's bringing the character more alive. It's really boosting the happiness compared to if the hair would just stay still like it's doing here. It's like the person is calm, but here the happiness is making the hair move. You can go ahead that one as well and try draw two similar expressions, happy expressions. The other one having the hair flow a little bit, and the other one having the hair still, and you will see the difference. It also makes a difference. Yeah, so let the hair fly. Yeah, but I'm not gonna go into the other lines, can just stay the way they are, because we don't have the whole day here. Then the third one, the extreme level of happiness, let's say. So here you can see the hair is flowing even more, it's even going wild, and it gives the impression that the person is the head is in a movement, the person is laughing or shouting or whatever she's doing, but it's like she's acting on the emotion, and the emotion is causing emotion on her hair. Oh, yeah. So, and also the little tilt of the head is kind of highlighting, even adding more to the effect. This might be angle that could that you might need to practice a little bit to kind of understand this angle. I'm gonna try to draw some helping lines here, because this is where the head, the back of the skull is here, and then good old rule, a line going from the eyes to the ear, to the top of the ear, and then the bottom of the ear you can draw another line to the corner of the mouth. But here, because this is the 3D thinking, so you get to see it 3D, see it how the line is gonna curve, and then it's gonna kind of do the same thing on the other side. And here the middle part, let's split the head in two. But this is where the 3D thinking is very useful. So, okay, now quickly put some more flying hair. Also, this angle kind of gives like, it doesn't matter really what is the situation, but this is kind of, this angle makes the person gives a person like a more confident look. The angle, like looking a little bit from like down, like here, like how can I even explain this? Well, I have some more examples coming, so maybe I will be able to explain this better there. So let's leave it at that now. Let's see if I can show again these 3 balls of the nose, like 1, 2, 3, and then there is nostril and another nostril, and there is the nose curve. Like you see from this angle, the nose is actually kind of looks very short. Not that it is short, but because of the angle, it's just you don't see the you don't see the nose all the way like like you would do here. Like here, the nose would have a more space, but here it's not the case, just because of the angle. And so here the eyes are completely closed, and when I draw extreme happiness, I sometimes like to add a little like blush on the cheeks, just a little bit, because you know, when a person is laughing or really excited, that really, you know, it increases the what is it, the blood yeah, increases, you know, the at least to me, like when I'm really excited, you know, I get kind of like red cheeks, and I get so excited about something. So that also brings the effect. This little blush, but just a little bit. If put it too much, then it can be mistaken to something else. But when it's just a little bit of blush, then it's just adding to the happiness and the excitement. And here the mouth is wide open. You can see the teeth. And notice how the teeth here, they are like curving inside the mouth. And that's also because 3D. Yeah, 3D is a big thing. And there will be the lips. I'm not gonna draw them any better than that. I think I said the main points there already. Yeah. And here remember the fact that the mouth is, the wide open mouth is pushing the cheeks up. Just remember that. I think that's even the most important thing, because it's affecting the eyes, and it's affecting the cheeks and everything. Well, at least those things. So next we're gonna move to another emotion. We have a next random character here. So now we're dealing with we're dealing with sadness. So the first one, the first one is gonna be the very basic sad face there. Oh, it's so small, but I hope you can see it there. There's a sad face. So with sadness, most importantly, with the happiness here, the eyes are very active, and with sadness, the eyes are passive. Like with sadness, the person is kind of, even here, kind of like avoiding an eye contact. The eyes are, he's looking down. The eyes are half closed. It really brings the passive look. The eyebrows are curving a little bit upwards. You know, this, you know, the sad eyebrows. I know you do. So these are the sad eyebrows. They're not too extremely sad yet, because this is the basic sadness here. And you might, if you want, you might want to add some, you know, shadowing under the eyes. It makes eyes look a little tired, and also kind of add more what's the word? Anyway, they make you look more sad. Yes, that exactly. And well, then there is a nose. Oh, because I would like to repeat myself, let me repeat myself again. So there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, a little. I threw it quite badly now, but 1, 2, 3 balls, which you can use, which I use at least sometimes, to get my noses look like noses. And then the mouth is, you know, the corners of the mouth are pointing downwards. Here not too much, a little bit, because we don't want to exaggerate here. We want to be subtle. So this is quite basic sadness. And I don't know if I have to highlight anything else here, really. Let's highlight his high cheekbones, even though they have nothing to do with the sadness. Let's highlight them anyway. Yeah, now he just has a red nose. That's funny. Okay, yeah, now I'm getting out of the subject. But yeah, basic sadness is quite simple, nothing too fancy here yet. But now let's move to kind of like this one. This is the medium level sadness here. So so the person, our random character, he's crying, but it's like a controlled, basic controlled adult crying. You know, when adults cry, adults don't that often cry like babies. They cry like adults. They have learned to kind of control their emotions, at least most of them. And something I wanted to draw this hand here, because especially like when a person is crying, when we humans, when we cry, we tend to put our hands, we often take our hands somewhere close to our face, like trying to kind of hide our tears, or sometimes to like wipe them away. But anyway, it's very, very common. Just look at a person. Whenever next time you see a person crying, check their hands. They are very, very, it's very much possible that at least at some point they are like kind of, their hands are getting on their face. So this is why I added this hand here on the drawing, because that can increase the sadness effect. We human beings want to hide our sadness, at least our tears. So I'll quickly just sketch the hand. So now I would say with this crying medium level sadness, the eyes are the most important because, you know, he's crying. So now the eyebrows are more like suffering sadness. So you can, they're pointing upwards from here. I mean, how can I even say this? Well, you can see it, so maybe I don't need to explain it to you that any better than that. When it's an adult person, you can add some of these these wrinkles to even like a deepen the expression. With drawing kids, I advise to be careful with these wrinkles because it might make the kid look weird, because the kids don't have wrinkles. But it really depends. Just look at your drawing and see if it looks weird. Then you might want to change something. But at least here, let me get to the nose. I'm not drawing those 3 balls here this time, but you can imagine them. Then I add a little wrinkle here as well. Here, you see this one. You know, because of the way the mouth is, because of the way it's like the person is kind of trying to control his cry. He's kind of gritting his teeth, so he's the muscles of the mouth, you know, it makes the line from the corner corner of the mouth to the nose. I'm not going to draw the whole line because in a drawing like this that will look very silly, but when you add just this one little wrinkle there, it does the thing and it doesn't look too weird. And so the mouth is kind of strained, the lips are there, and now let's get back to the eyes. There's one more little wrinkle. The eyes are closed, and then there are the tears. Here as well, I like to add some like shading, a little shading. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but at least I'm saying it, so remember this. A little shading under the eyes, because you know when you cry, your eyes get red. Even though this person here is a black person, you wouldn't see that his eyes are getting red. But even when you're drawing somebody, okay, you can still add those lines, because into the drawing it will still add the effect, even though in the real life you might not see that the eyes are red. But you know, this is drawing, this is not real life, so we can break the rules. And the other eye is right here. I mean, here are the tears and the eye, then some shading. Oh, this is getting so detailed that no, I hope you can see something, but anyway, I'm sure you get the main idea and you see the most of the expression. You can see that he's crying, you can see that he's sad, I'm sure about that, and that's what matters. And here's the one lonely tear traveling down. Also, might be when you want to draw a sad person, the person might the drawing the character might want to kind of keep his or her head down. Like in this case, the head is kind of tilting a little bit downwards, just like the eyes. The person is avoiding eye contact. That's the turning the head away from the viewer, or something like that, can really bring the sadness effect. Or make it kind of increase the sadness effect. Yeah, but I think the main points I already said them, so you can move to the next one, which is an extreme case, which is a child, because children can be very emotional sometimes, and when it's about children, when they get emotional, they are not hiding it. So don't be afraid to exaggerate. Go ahead and do it as much as you want. So make sure you put a lot of tears there. This is funny. So we can imagine that this is the same person here as a kid. So yeah, it's still the same person crying, just a few years back. So the eyes are completely closed on, and the tears are everywhere. They're flying. You can see them flying. And you can really point those eyebrows up, because damn, this boy is sad. I think he just dropped his ice cream or something. I mean, I would be sad. I would probably make this face if I dropped my ice cream. Okay, that's not the point. So, even that's very important. So, a lot of tears. They're flying everywhere. Yeah, that one I said. This angle also, in this case, this boy is definitely not trying to hide his tears. So he has his head a little bit tilted up, and so the nose is up here, just like it is here. The angle is pretty similar. And he has a very runny nose because of his tears and crying. Yeah. And mommy hasn't even wiped his nose. And you see the mouth is wide open. You can really bring them, if you want to exaggerate like I've done here, you can really bring them corners of the mouth downwards to really make it look sad. Like, even though there is no sound, but you can almost hear the boy cry, because you can it's so obvious. Yeah. And here is his ear. Yeah, I think that's all the main point. And also, of course, here you can also add some shading under the eyes, like that. I think that's all I wanted to say about sadness. Yeah, so let the boy cry there. and we will move on. So next, let me cover that one still. Haha. Next we have, no, I don't think I have to cover it because the camera only shows those two anyway. Okay, so as you can see, the next one is fear. And I have a little animal here as well because I think this was a good example to also point out with animal drawings anyway. First, let me take this little human being though. So with fear, the eyebrows are kind of similar than what they are with sadness, though they are higher. With sadness, the eyebrows kind of get closer to the eyes, kind of close the eyes, like the eyes are closed, and the eyebrows are close to the eyes. Yeah. So with fear, like, kind of like the shape is pretty same, but the eyebrow is up. It's not coming down and closing the eye. And unlike with sadness, like I said, it's very like passive, but fear is very active. You can see the eyes of this little boy are wide open. A line or two under the eyes will also help to bring the fear to the face of the character, like this. You see, like the boy looks like his eyes are about to pop out of his head. But yeah, that's pretty much the effect I want to achieve here. So let me draw the nose. Even though the nose has really no role in this fearful business. And then the mouth, corners down. The mouth can be open, like it is in this case. It can also be closed, depending what kind of effect you want your fearful expression to have. In this case, I wanted him to be kind of like panting, maybe. You can imagine he's breathing heavily, so he's breathing through his mouth. A little sweat drop will always do the trick, so you can even add 2 of them. I mean, I'm adding 2 of them. Then you can, at least I am making some extra effects here. You're making these movement lines. I don't know, motion lines. I don't know what to call these, but gives the effect that the person is kind of moving around, fidgeting, turning his head around and stuff like that. And then highlighting the bottom lip because of the mouth. So the bottom lip is kind of curved as well. So this boy would have orange hair. If I was to color this, he would have orange hair for sure. Okay, but sorry boy, I can't really spend more time on you because I need to move on. I've already said the main points here. So now we have this doggy here, and again I'm putting some motion lines. I'm just gonna call them motion lines now. And with animals, you want to draw them animals having expressions. The ears are so important. That's why I wanted to have this one beautiful dog example. The way the ears would be drawn back and the ears are down and the eyes are open and they are really alert. And if you want the animal to have an eyebrows, then, well, anyway, the eyes would pretty much work the same way as with a human. But you know, human ears are not very expressive, but with animals the ears are very, 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 very expressive. So make sure to use them ears if you're drawing animals. And here as well, the whole head is like being pressed down. Although it's like the dog is kind of pulling it, like pulling it himself. Like. I mean, if you want, you can also put a sweat drop to the dog. I mean, if you want to, that would also do a trick or two. And next, then I'm gonna move to surprise. So here, with a surprise, obviously the eyes are very, very open. You can make the pupils even like you can exaggerate a little bit, because obviously the pupils of the eye do not change size. Only the black area of the eye can change size. But when it comes to drawing, of course, like I said, you can break the rules. So you can make the whole, or is it that the black area is the pupil and then the other one is something else? I don't know. Anyway, you can make like the whole eye, the whole thing smaller to get a better surprise effect. Also, possibly a line under the eye here, like a kind of like a shadow. It might also work depending on what kind of surprise you want to bring out. Like this expression would easily be changed into happy surprise by just changing the shape of the mouth. If I now changed this mouth into like a smiley mouth, the expression would be completely different. But now it's just like a surprise, but not like happy surprise, not as fearful either, really. It's just a surprise. But things like these really affect expressions, and that's why I say again and again that go ahead and try different things. Like you draw 3 different surprised expressions. I mean, otherwise you would draw the same face, but just change the shape and the size of the mouth and see how it affects the overall expression. Just go ahead and try. You will see the magic happen. And so here, and the eyebrows are very high. Woo! And then, well, the nose is just a nose and nothing more than that. Then again, to get a better surprise effect, I make the hair flow a little bit to kind of signify a movement that is happening, that the person is let me put some motion lines here. So the person is kind of backing down and making a movement that makes the hair move. Emotion makes emotion. Oh yeah, that one. That was a good one. And then I also, with this one, just like with the sadness, I want to bring the hands in. Because with a reaction like this, it would definitely make it look more like a surprised reaction, the hands, because human hands are very expressive. I think human hands compensate the lack of ears. I mean, with animals, the ears are expressive as human hands are. So they can definitely help you to tell a story. Just add them hands in every now and then. And the mouth is round, in this case, open. Not too very wide, kind of like whoa open. You can see the teeth and the tongue there a little bit. And here, like, you can, like, even in this case, if it fits, you can add a sweat drop. It immediately brings in kind of nervous effect. In this case, it's just like a pure surprise. But when you add, let me add a sweat drop. Woo! It's like immediately the person becomes a little nervous. It's like a little fearful, not too fearful yet. But you know, things like this really change the story. So it's just up to you how you want to tell the story. And let me quickly do something to this other very expressive hand here as well. Oh, I'm a little moving downwards too much. Ta-da! Now that's our surprise face there now. And let us move to anger. Now let's first have the basic anger. It's like a silent anger. The other one is a very loud anger. But this one is still a silent storm in the horizon. Can't hear the rumble yet, but you can see it. So obviously the eyebrows are pointing down, kind of shading the eyes. You can increase the anger effect by, shading the eyes yourself here. Kind of make the eyes be in the dark if you want to. Then here also the angle of the face is affecting the way the viewer is perceiving the anger. Because from this angle, of course, the eyes seem to be even more under the eyebrows. And here again, I'm drawing the tiny little wrinkle there, close to the nose, because of the way the person is again having like a kind of like a strained mouth. Hope you get what I mean. Kind of the corner of the mouth is being like pulled down, and you know, you can do this. I sometimes when I draw, I like to make the face myself. Well, you can try it, like when you in a certain way you draw your the corners of your mouth back, it will make your nose kind of make this little wrinkle there. Go ahead and you will even look at the mirror. At least that's what my nose does. Of course, cannot say that everybody's nose does it, but anyway, I believe that with most of the people, that's what will happen anyway. And so the mouth is corners of the mouth pointing down. But anyway, you see this expression has like a lot of tension. The tension is there, but it's not yet kind of tension is not yet released. I think it was a good reference or a metaphor. What is it called? When I was saying that it's a storm that you see in a horizon, you can't hear it yet, but you can see it's coming. So like in this case, like you see there's something there. The fight is about to begin. Yeah, but the main points I believe I said, so I'm not going to spend more time on your hair or anything else now, because I'm about to get to the part where the storm is rumbling and lightning bolts are all around you. So here it's a rage. Well, this is also I think, well, it's the extreme level of anger. Okay, so now the eyes are here. The eyes are actually not too active. They're only like active, passive, but here the eyes are very active. The eyebrows are pointing, tilting down strongly. The open wide mouth is lifting the cheeks. You know, you can draw these curved lines under the eyes. Also, you can increase the anger effect here by drawing very small. Is it that the black area is the pupil and then the big area is iris or whatever? I can't remember which way it was. Anyway, you know, the black area in the eye, you can draw it very small, and then the rest of the eye you can also make it a little like a smaller, the other round there, to really make it look angry, like this girl is on fire, like by anger. And again, there is the wrinkle, the nose wrinkle that I sometimes like to use. And there's the nose itself. It's like the nose is, I draw the nose a little higher to give space to the mouth. Because the mouth here is really wide open. And you can see the teeth upper here and down here. And you can see the tongue. You can even see the almost into. You can almost see into her throat because she's really making sure that there's nobody that is not hearing her. And now the mouth and the eyes really do the trick. Even with this one, it would be very interesting, like the change that would happen if I now just made her have her mouth closed, and how different the expression would be, because then it would be just the eyes speaking the language of anger, but now it's the eyes and the mouth. But if you close the mouth, it will be just the eyes sending those lightnings out of them. But now, because we want her to rage as much as she can, we will let her have her mouth open. And here as well, if the character has hair, make that hair flow. Even in this case, like this is a braid that is actually really heavy, and there's no way that the braid would actually, like in real life, lift itself like that, because unless the girl is grabbing it and just kind of throwing it, and that's only when it will flow like that. But because we're throwing and we want to bring in the effect, we can once more break them rules and just let that braid flow away. Not flow away, but fly around, because it will increase the anger a lot. Yep. And here's where you can add some wrinkles here around the eyes to even deepen the anger of the eyes, and make it darker here if you want to. Oh, it's even oh, this is even going this is getting scary. Ooh. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there and move to our last emotion. Now this girl looks like she's about to turn into a werewolf or something. Well, at least... Oh, am I escaping from the camera? At least you can say she's angry. So the last one is this random funny guy here, and he is representing disgust. In my opinion, from all these emotions, disgust is probably the hardest, even though it's quite simple, but it's somehow so subtle, the emotion. Like, I really I can't tell you one simple way of like a simple rule, or that this is how you make a disgusted face, because I think there are actually many ways of expressing disgust, but I took the most obvious disgusted expression, meaning like this guy is probably he has just found out that he stepped on a dog poo, and now his shoe stinks like dog poo. So this is the face. But anyway, like the eyebrows, the eyes here are half closed, kind of. How can I even say, the eyes are kind of strained, kind of. I think this emotion must be really, it's quite hard for me to explain. And the eyebrows, the other one is kind of pointing up, the other one is going down. So is the person is looking, the eyebrows are kind of confused. They don't know where to be. But what is definitely obviously disgusted, a sign of a disgust is the mouth curving down and the nose wrinkle thing is happening here again. That is definitely something that I want to say here. The eyes are quite like looking at something that is very suspicious. I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of make rules for this expression, but like I said, this one, in my opinion, is the most complicated for me to explain. It's not complicated to really draw, at least not for me, but for somebody who wants to learn to draw this emotion, well, really, like the mouth and the nose, yeah, they really do the trick. But the eyes just, I guess the eyes just gotta be like they're looking at something that they don't want to see, but they're looking at it anyway. So they're kind of like avoiding looking at it. Oh, I'm sorry, I really don't know how to explain these eyes for you guys. But I hope the picture is worth 1,000 words, so look at this dude. And remember, he's confused. Nasty. No, not nasty. Well, he's obviously looking at something nasty, that's for sure. So now, there we have a disgusting look. Yeah. So now I went through all them drawings I made for you. Let me put some. Let me have this little boy and the dog there. But what I really want to encourage you to do if you want to learn to draw expressions is this thing that I was mentioning a few times there, is to just try and see what different things do to the expression when you draw an expression and then you just change the eyebrows, or you change the mouth, how wide open it is it closed, and see how those things affect the emotion on the face that you have drawn. And really, I think that's a really good way to kind of learn through experience, your own experience. So draw faces and draw them a lot. Yeah. Like I did here. Like I have a paper full of faces. was a really good school for me as well. And I really love drawing expressions. It's one of my absolute favorite things to draw. So it was really, really, really fun to have this live stream. And next week I'm gonna be attending an event, so I'm not going to be able to have a stream, but I should be able to have stream in 2 weeks. But as always, I'm going to let you know about it, and I'm also going to let you know about the subject that I'm going to be talking about and whatever I'm going to be drawing. So hopefully I will see you in 2 weeks, and thank you so much for joining this stream. I hope it was helpful. Bye bye.